I'm back with another video. I'm going to be doing the power of makeup. Now, I know this was first kind of trending and brought out around a year ago, but I was going through YouTube and there's still quite a few people that do it to this day. So I wanted to give it a go for myself. So I have already cleansed and toned my face. I have primed this side of my face. This side I'm going to do my makeup with the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. This actually is a really good primer if you guys didn't know. I think this is only a couple of pounds. But yeah, so I've primed one half of my face already. So I'm going to go in with foundation. Now this is the Estee Lauder Futuristic Aqua Brilliance foundation. Now this is slightly too dark for me. I bought this at an outlet and they didn't have my shade. But luckily I'm going to also go in with the Revlon ColourStay foundation, which is slightly too light for my skin. So I'm going to be mixing these two together to kind of give a very high coverage. So I'm going to mix these two together. I'm going to do around 2 pumps or so. The pumps aren't very big in this, so I'm going to also, unfortunately this doesn't kind of have like a pump, so I'm just going to tip a little bit out. So I've got around half and half, as you can see. So I'm just going to mix it on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to apply this. And I'm going to go in with the Real Techniques Complexion sponge. So I'm just going to kind of build this up. The foundation by Estee Lauder is probably a lot easier to build than the ColourStay. I find the ColourStay is, I would say this is more of like a medium coverage, whereas the Estee Lauder one is definitely more of a full higher coverage. So I'm going to go in with a couple of concealers just because one is slightly more coverage than the other. Again, I wouldn't normally wear this much makeup, just purpose of this video. But I'm going to go in with the No. 7 Match Made Concealer in Calico. And this is a stick concealer. So I'm just going to apply that under my eyes. And a little bit on my chin as well, and actually slightly under my nose. Because this is a stick concealer, I'm going to blend it in with my finger because I think that's normally best. I don't really have any brushes that would work with this concealer. So to add to the coverage, I'm going to go in with the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I'm not going to use a lot of this, just because this is kind of more just to add slight coverage on top. I'm just going to add a little bit up here as well. And to cover my spots there as well. So I am going to go in with my complexion sponge again. I think this is probably the best way of doing more of like a liquid concealer, whereas using a stick concealer, I think it's much easier to blend in with your fingers because the warmth of your fingers helps kind of melt the concealer slightly, so it's a lot easier to buff into the skin. Now that I've done my foundation and concealer, I'm now going to go in and set that. I'm going to use the Maybelline Matte Maker. You guys know I love this product, so I'm not really going to go into details. I'm going to go in with the spicy brush I used in my last video for under my eyes. Again, as I mentioned last time, I think this is more just like a fluffy angled eye brush, but just to make sure that it kind of gets rid of any of the creasing before I set it, I'm just going to kind of go in with my sponge and kind of pat that back in to help with any creasing straight away, so it kind of doesn't start creasing. I'm going to go in and set that with the powder. Now this is in Classic Ivory, if any of you are wondering. I believe this is the lightest shade they do, I'm not sure. So I'm also going to go in around my nose, like I normally do. Gonna go up the bridge of my nose as well. And I'm just going to blend my eyelid concealer and set that as well. I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques powder brush. Again, I mentioned in my last video, this is the Metal Collection one. And I'm also going to go in with the exact same powder I used last time as well. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Powder Makeup. This is just because it gives a slight more coverage as well. And it's slightly darker than my my skin tone. So I'm going to pack that on just to kind of set the rest of my face. Is that side completely set. So I'm now going to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with my eyes actually, and then kind of go back to my face. So I'm going to go in with this 17 palette that I have. Now I haven't used this in a while, I don't really know. It doesn't really say what the palette's called, it just says it includes 6 limited edition eyeshadows. I possibly could have got this actually in a set, so I'm not sure the actual palette name or any of the colours or anything. If I can find this, I will link this down below. So I think I'm going to start off with using this kind of like a champagne-y pink colour. And I'm actually going to use one of my new brushes. So I'm going to go in with the Real Technique. I believe this is just like I think this is like the eye blending brush, champagne pink, but I'm also actually going to, I think I'm going to slightly mix it with this kind of more of I don't know what you call it, more of like a goldy colour. So I'm just going to kind of apply that onto the eye. With this kind of more of a dark pink, and I'm going to mix it in with the lighter pink as well, and I'm going to kind of apply it to the outer part of my eye. So I'm going to go in with this kind of, it's slightly, I think it's like a red undertoned brown. These are all glitter shades if you are wondering. So if you kind of don't like that, I would probably stay away from this. So again, just using the same brush, I'm just going to kind of go back in and accentuate the V area. So I'm going to go in with that colour again, but I'm now going to add a darker brown that's in the middle and even more kind of deepen that V. The last palette I'm going to go in with is the Technic bronzing eyeshadows. These are all baked eyeshadows. They are all extremely glittery, as you can see, but this is one of my favourite palettes. I showed it in a few videos back. I kind of showed you the pigmentation and the colours. As you can see, they're absolutely beautiful. I think I'm going to mix these two shades. Now these two look very similar. I think they look more different actually on camera than they do in real life. but this is slightly more darker than this one, but there's ever so slight difference. You can hardly tell. So I'm just gonna kind of mix those two colours together, get off any excess, and I'm gonna kind of like put it on my centre of my eyelid and bring it upwards as well. So kind of keep it like in the centre column if you like. I have kind of done blending that bit in the middle. So I'm going to actually, first of all, I'm going to use this duo angled shadow brush, and I'm going to use the dark brown out of this palette. And I'm going to kind of use this to even more so darken the outer V. Last of all, I'm going to go in with my finger this time, just kind of get more pigmentation, and use this like champagne colour in the middle. So I'm going to go back in with my eye later, but I'm now going to move back into doing my face. So I'm going to go in, of course, with my Revolution Ultra Contour Palette. I'm going to be using the flat contour brush again. I'm going to go in with the middle colour, of course. So I'm going to go in with blush. So I'm going to use the normal brush, which is the Real Technique blush brush, and I'm actually going to mix these two together. So this is the MaxFactor Cream Puff Blush. I use this all the time. And the other one is the Makeup Revolution blush in Treat. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of a difference. One's more of kind of a corally pink, and that's more of like a darky pink, but they've both got slight shimmers of glitter in them. So as I said, I'm going to kind of like mix them together. I'm going to go in with, I don't actually, this isn't like branded or anything. I mentioned in my last video I got this off of Wish. So I'm going to go in with this, and I'm going to go in with my Makeup Revolution palette again and go in with the highlighting shade. So I'm going to go in and do my eyebrows now. I'm going to use my favourite kind of palette that I use for my eyes but also for my eyebrows. It is W7 in the City. I do really recommend this palette if you like nudes. That is your best bet. So this is a really good palette. I think this is only around £4 or £5, but I got given this as a, I think it was a Christmas or birthday present. So I'm not sure, but as I said, any of these links, any of the items, I will leave them down below. And if I can, I'll find some links for them as well. So I'm gonna go in with my normal spoolie and angled brow brush. Going to go in and just set them. So I'm using Rimmel Brow This Way styling gel. So first of all, I'm going to go in with the Avon Glimmerstick. Back with the 17 palette, and I'm going to go in with two dark browns, kind of just to slightly darken the outer bottom, just to kind of blend the top and bottom area in. Tight line my top waterline. Just going back in with the Glimmerstick that I used before. So I'm going in with the Rimmel Glam Eyes Professional Liquid Liner. This is one of my favourites. I think this is around £5. It lasts a really long time. It's really good as well. So I really recommend this. So I'm going to go in with my normal 3 mascaras I've been using lately. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline the Falsies Push Up Pajama Mascara. I'm going to go in with the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara as well, just on top to kind of build up the coverage and kind of like make them slightly more voluminous. I'm going to go in with the Lash Accelerator by Rimmel and apply this to my bottom lash line. So I'm going to quickly line my lips. This is the MaxFactor Colour Elixir Lip Liner in number 6 Mauve Moment. So I just kind of filled them in just to kind of slightly help the lipsticks to stay on longer. I'm going to go in with one of my new lipsticks now. I'm aware these aren't legit. I bought these off of Wish, but this is the Jeffree Star Blur Liquid Lipstick. This is in Gemini. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. So this is the side with makeup and this is the side without. So as I said, by no means does anyone have to wear this much makeup. I think I look okay without makeup. I don't really need it because, as I said, my skin's pretty good anyway. But I really kind of enjoy doing stuff like this because, you know, makeup doesn't have any rules to it. You can be as creative as you want. There are no rules whatsoever. But I actually am really happy with how this came out. As I said, I wouldn't normally wear this much, but I really like it anyway. So if you guys enjoyed it, please leave it a like. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!